Welcome back to the R&D podcast. My name's Dalton. I'm joined here today with the whole crew. I'm not even going to make them say their names out loud right now because it would just take a while, right? But we're back with the same crew we've been with the past, 2 weeks now? Is that right? Week and a half? Something like that?
I think 2 weeks.
First thing to talk about is the college football playoff prediction show. Interesting notes we have on this one. We'll go ahead and pop up the graphic of who's in the top 25. So at 25, you have a 3-loss Tennessee team. How are y'all feeling about that? You think you agree with that 3-loss Tennessee team being in there?
Not at all.
I think they're kind of interchangeable. I think you could swap Memphis in there and not hurt anybody's feelings, honestly.
I agree. There's nothing really else right here, kind of this back half that I really have a problem with. I think Missouri's in a good spot, Pitt's in a good spot, Washington's in a good spot, Miami, USC's in a good spot. Vandy after the loss to Texas is in a good spot.
I agree with it. I agree with the Tennessee 25. I mean, if you're going by strength of schedule, I mean, Tennessee has a better schedule and they played better teams and also they beat better teams. So I do agree putting Tennessee at 25.
Who have they beat? This is the reason why they're far back, right? Is because of the loss to Bama, lost to Georgia at home, and then they lose to who was it? Vandy 2 weeks ago, or not Vandy? My goodness, who's the third loss? Why can't I not think of it off the top of my head?
Oklahoma.
Oklahoma at home. So that was the only reason. Is like you've played 3 big games and haven't won any of the 3. That's the only reason I would even say anything about it. But really and truly, that doesn't matter in the grand scheme of things, especially when we were talking about the playoff show. Let's talk about Texas. Texas being at 11. We agree or disagree with this, with Oklahoma being at 12. What are y'all thinking? We'll start with you, Jen.
I mean, you can't really put them in another spot with Oklahoma being that ranked high because they do have the win over them. I think they made the right change this week because AP poll had Texas at 12 and Oklahoma at 11. But then you also got Virginia and Louisville, 1-loss teams right behind them. So I don't know. I guess you could say they're supposed to be there because their strength of schedule.
Yeah.
But, I mean, at the end of the day, it's just you got to win out.
Well, let's not get it twisted. At the beginning of the season, this Texas team was nowhere near what they have been playing, at least the past couple of weeks. I'd say Oklahoma game to now. The one game you kind of slip up with is Mississippi State, but you still found a way to win, and that's the moral of the story is you found a way to win. You almost you almost let Vandy come back last week in Austin, but like I said, still chalked it up on the calendar as a W, and you keep on moving on. We look at the more rankings up ahead of them. Is there anything that catches anybody's eye that you may want to say? I think one thing that stands out to me is the fact that they're valuing head-to-heads really well, but also I think the eye test is also a factor throughout this whole ranking system because you have like Ohio State still sitting at number 1. We'll talk about the top 3 spots here in just a second, but other than the top 3 or 4, is there anything that y'all see that you would change, or you think the playoff committee kind of got it right here?
I would change. Ohio State can stay number 1 because they haven't really done anything to lose it other than strength of schedule. But they've been number 1 the whole season, mainly, except for the first week. But Indiana, Texas A&M, I feel like should switch because Texas A&M has a rougher schedule than Indiana, I believe, and I feel like Texas A&M is a lot more dominant team than Indiana by a little bit. But other than that, in the top 4, I believe is okay.
So this is the argument I'm going to propose to you on that. If you're going to switch A&M with Indiana, why not switch A&M with Ohio State? Because Indiana has the better win over Oregon than what Ohio State's win over Texas was at the beginning of the year. Because Texas, like I said just a second ago, was nowhere near as good as what they are now at the beginning of the year. And it was at home.
Because of SC bias, I feel like a lot of people would complain about that, give a hard time about it, and that's why I feel like they didn't change Ohio State to number. Feel like Texas A&M didn't go above Indiana or Ohio State because of SC bias.
I don't think you punish Ohio State either, but like Booger McFarland in the show was saying that he thinks analytically that A&M should be at 1. Looking stat wise, strength of schedule, everything given, and the commissioner came out and said basically that Ohio State had the best win at the beginning of the year, and they're better up front on the offensive line, and they're better defensively, which keeps them in front of Indiana and A&M. Do you feel like that's correct? Do you feel like that's rightfully so? Because Ohio State has the best defense in college football. I'm convinced.
Well, I agree with you, but like Bama, Bama should be in front of Ohio State and Indiana, but Bama lost to Florida State in the first game of the season, which hurt them really bad. Not really bad, they're still number 4, but Bama playing against 5 ranked teams in a row and then going to South Carolina. South Carolina is no bad team to underestimate, and they came out with the dub. Bad or not, I don't care. It's SEC play. It's going to be hard. It's going to be rough. But you just can't put Bama in front of those 3. Well, I believe Texas A&M should be number 1. Bama should be 2. But that's just my opinion. You can say I'm SEC biased. I don't care. Looking at strength of schedule, Bama and Texas A&M has played a better schedule than Ohio State and Indiana.
Mm-hmm. The reason why I don't think you can put Bama there is just obviously because of the one loss, and you haven't done anything to punish Ohio State or Indiana. Bama's fine where they're at, ahead of Georgia. That's their head-to-head.
Right.
And Georgia ahead of Ole Miss. The argument that I was saying is just A&M in general, because I think Bama, no matter what, should stay at 4. I think Indiana is definitely the second best team in the country. And I think Ohio State hasn't done anything to drop out of there. So I agree with what you were saying originally that, they're fine where they are at. But I could see the case for A&M to bump up to 1 as well, considering the strength of schedule. But they only have one, top win or top 25 win right now as it stands. Not at the time they played them, but just based off of when, as we're talking about right now, who they beat. And I think that would be was Notre Dame, and they're ranked number 10. So they had the head-to-head over Notre Dame at the beginning of the season, which you've obviously seen this Notre Dame team progress as the years going on. You've seen C.J. Carr play better. You've seen Jeremiah Love start playing better. You see the run blocking get better. And most of all, you've seen the secondary get better because at the start of the season, RJ, me and you were talking about how good this Notre Dame defense could potentially be.
Yeah,
the secondary got healthy, and now they are.
I don't agree with Notre Dame being 10. They lost 2 hard-fought games, but they were big games, the biggest games on their schedule, and now they're going to win out and make the playoffs. I don't agree with that. I feel like you should put Notre Dame in a conference.
Yeah, you feel like Notre Dame should have to be in a conference. What do you think about Miami being behind Notre Dame, considering the recent loss to SMU, but they had the head-to-head over Notre Dame? Do you think that should weigh a factor? Or you think it's fine where it's at? I'm talking to anybody who wants to answer this question. However you feel.
Well, I feel like 11 through 15 should be in front of Notre Dame, honestly. Because, if you're actually putting the strength of schedule in there, who has Notre Dame played that they won against? Mm-hmm. Really? So I don't agree with Notre Dame being in the top 10.
Didn't they beat USC?
Yeah, they did. They did beat USC.
USC is kind of average. One game they're good, one game they're not. So they're not a consistent team at all.
Other than USC is their best win at the current moment.
But you look at it though, like their first 3 weeks they play. Were they at Miami when they played Miami?
Yeah, so the first 3 weeks would be at Miami, at home against A&M, and then Purdue. So really and truly, it's the first 2 weeks that were.
So
they had Miami, then a bye.
Yeah, you lose to A&M by 1 on a prayer, mind you. So let's say the prayer doesn't happen. Notre Dame. Where do you have Notre Dame then? That's the other question there. Like, let's say
I got Notre Dame in the 25 through 15. Instead of top 10. They got it.
No, he was saying what Pork was saying was if Notre Dame potentially won that A&M game, where are they at? I believe they're definitely 5 through 8.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, no doubt.
But
They
I
would have
think they're
beaten
more
Notre
towards the
Texas
5
A&M.
than they are the 8 too. In that scenario,
I
they're either
agree.
5 or 6.
I agree. The loss to Miami looked fine at the beginning of the season, but as the season continues, it looks worse and worse and worse because of the losses that they're taking, especially with the loss to SMU last week that we covered here on the RD podcast. Make sure you're liking and subscribing, checking out our TikTok, etc. But Georgia Tech at 17 after the loss to NC State, they have a little bit harder of a schedule coming up to maybe give them a little bit of bounce back to be able to make a run at it. Georgia's the main, component of that. Do you think Georgia Tech would be able to not necessarily go on the road because it is still being played in Atlanta, just not at their home field? Do you think Georgia Tech has what it takes to beat Georgia in a matchup?
I think so, absolutely. I mean, it's a scheme thing. And Georgia's shown they're human. They're very human this year. This is not a Georgia team of like years past to where nothing gets through their defensive line and nothing's getting over them in the secondary. Like it's just this is a very human. I hate to say average defense, but I mean they're slightly above average defensively, in my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, if Georgia Tech will give Georgia struggles, but for Georgia Tech to win the game, I feel like some miracle has to happen. I feel like Georgia's depth would play a good role in this game against Georgia Tech when it comes to a rival week. But I feel like Georgia will win that game.
So, Chin, what do you think about the BYU, Texas Tech, and Oregon ranking? Do you think Oregon should be potentially ahead of them based off of overall performance? Or do you think they're good right there where they're at? Because obviously 7 and 8, BYU and Texas Tech, they play this week. They're going to end up shifting somehow. What do you think is the correct stance right there? Or do you think obviously I feel like you've agreed with most everything that the committee's put out. Is there anything right there that you disagree with, or are you good with everything?
I mean, I don't really see a disagreement. I mean, BYU is the undefeated team there. But I mean, 7 through 9, you could change them out however you want to. I mean, they're all 3 good teams. We'll see what BYU and Texas Tech are made of this weekend. But I don't think you can punish Oregon that bad for their one loss being the number 2 team.
Yeah, I agree. Another thing I wanted to talk about, is there any way that Vandy can climb back into this college football playoff rankings and somehow make a way into the playoffs whenever all they have left on their schedule is Auburn, Kentucky, and then last but not least, Tennessee? Is there any way that they make a climb back into the college football talk? And do you think the teams in front of them that are necessary to lose will lose? We'll start with you, Port. What you got to say?
They have got to body everybody in front of them. Like I'm talking about 3 to 4 possessions every game from now on, and then have people drop out in front of them. That's the only way they remotely make a run, in my opinion.
Yeah. Jim, what you thinking?
I mean, yeah, I like what Pork says. They got to body everybody. But then they have to also get the luck of teams in front of them losing. Like Oklahoma still got Bama, Texas still got Georgia. Louisville and Virginia will probably end up playing each other again in the ACC if it just stays like it is. I haven't looked at Utah and see who they got left. But there are some teams in there that could possibly lose and let Vandy sneak back into it, because that's 5 teams right there that could just lose more than one game, because Texas still got Georgia and A&M.
And Oklahoma's got Bama still.
Yeah.
RJ, yes or no, you think Vandy's making it back in the playoffs, or you think they're basically out where they're at?
They could. It's going to be hard for them, but because I feel like Auburn will upset Vandy this weekend.
All right,
that's just my opinion. We'll go on for that, but
cut them off. All right,
we'll talk about this later.
But if Vandy wins out, they have it'll be very close for them.
Yeah,
if they win out.
Something we're not talking about is BYU and Texas Tech. One of those teams is dropping.
Yeah,
after this weekend. So I mean that also opens up another spot ahead, depending on how well they play this weekend, if they're going to move or how far down they're going to drop.
Yeah. Completely agree. Here we have the bracket.
I got a
as it
question.
stands. Yeah,
I
what's
got a
up?
question real quick. Do you think Bama is 100% in the playoffs? Or
No, I would say
90%?
about 85%. Because I think you can still take a loss and make it if you're Bama.
Someone
think
said
you
in the
still-
chat. Someone said in the chat Bama will lose the next 2 games out of the 4. Also, the pink shirt is cute. Appreciate it, Darla.
Okay.
By the way,
You're reading
nobody in the
fake chats.
chat said this.
I
RJ
was
just
saying.
imagined this and then look back to the comments to make sure that it looked like he was looking at the comments. I'll pull up the comments on stage here. You see how it says new comments will appear here in real time for everyone to see? That's proof that nobody has said anything.
No, they must have
That's
deleted
funny.
them. They definitely deleted them.
That's
They,
funny.
they might have just sent it to me.
Nah.
I don't know. That's weird.
Yeah, they private messaged RJ about his take. I
weird.
respect that.
Isn't
RJ.
your shirt like a little red, not pink?
It looks like more
I'd say it's
orange,
salmon.
Salmon. Okay.
buddy. Fair.
It's definitely pink.
All right. Anyways, let's get off of RJ's shirt. Let's get to this playoff bracket. Top 4 teams get by: Ohio State, Indiana, Texas A&M, and Bama. Now, who's playing your home games, right? Georgia got Memphis and Athens. Ole
Upset.
Miss and Oxford against Virginia. BYU and Notre Dame. BYU hosts Notre Dame. Texas Tech and Lubbock with Oregon. How do y'all feel about these matchups if they were to play out today? How do y'all feel about them? We'll start with Texas Tech and Oregon. Who wins that game?
Oregon.
I'd go Oregon.
The O. All right.
Firm believers in the Ducks.
Yeah. So are y'all believing in that because you can't believe in that based off of what Oregon has done or won because they haven't really won a necessarily big game. The only big game they played is Indiana, and they did not win that one. Texas Tech, the same could be said for them, right? But stat-wise, Texas Tech's defense has looked better than Oregon's. So are you just making this assumption based off of the potential that Oregon had? Because I completely agree that Oregon has a ton of potential to be better than what they are. Would you say yes?
I think Oregon's. I haven't really watched much Texas Tech. Shoot me, but I don't know. Oregon's always been a super deep team. They've got a good coach too. I mean, that's another thing. You've got a nationally rated coach. They've got. I've always liked Oregon. They've always been pretty good. So.
I want to bring some attention to something. I'm curious on what Pork's shirt says. We're going to remove this playoff bracket. Oh,
Freeze warning.
my.
It's froze.
We'll come back to this later in the Vandy Auburn game prediction, right? What? I'll get you to do that one more time for me. But as of right now, Sam and Boy down there at the bottom wants to give his take on this. What are you thinking about this Texas Tech Oregon game? You think Oregon takes it out single-handedly?
Yeah, I believe Oregon to take it out single-handedly. Oregon's just a better coach team to me. I like Dan Laney. I feel like he's one of the better college football coaches in college football right now, and also I believe in Dante Moore. Dante Moore is a dog to me, and I feel like Oregon will have this game, no doubt.
We'll skip past Georgia and Memphis. I feel like there's no really need in talking about that one. Memphis,
Yeah,
is a great
Memphis
team.
is walking
was an
through that
upset.
team. Memphis is going through it. I'm sorry. Georgia can't stop the run. Memphis, all they do is run. Ball game. Athens
Georgia
is quiet.
will beat Memphis by 21.
No.
Yes.
A good
Georgia
take.
didn't beat Auburn by 21.
No.
At Jordan here.
No.
I still think Memphis comes in and walks through Auburn right now. Let's be real.
They'll probably beat Auburn by a field goal or touchdown.
Why are we talking about Auburn in the college football playoff bracket? All right. Well, Auburn is nowhere near this bracket.
They should be in there. They should
Auburn.
be in there. They should be in there.
No, they should not.
know
BYU and Notre Dame. BYU and Notre Dame. Who wins this game and why?
Give me the Mormons.
Yeah, give me BYU.
Port?
I feel like
Give me Notre Dame.
BYU will run it down
Give me
Notre
Notre Dame.
Dame's throats because
I want
BYU
the
will
Fighting
run the
Irish.
ball. Will run the ball a lot, and then also they got that receiver. What's his name? Y'all know? He's a really good wide receiver for BYU.
You talking about the white boy?
Yeah, the white boy.
Parker Kingston.
Yeah, Park Kingston. He's really good too, and they'll hit you with the run game a lot, and then they'll hit him with the pass. He likes to sit in soft coverages also, and he's there every time. So I feel like BYU has his game at least by 7.
You know, I think a lot is going to be said about BYU this week against Texas Tech. I think Texas Tech's defense is going to kind of unveil some of the stuff that's going on at BYU. I think BYU is a great football team, but Notre Dame is, if they continue to make strides, I think Notre Dame would take this one. Ole Miss, Virginia. I think we're going to have a unanimous vote for Ole Miss here. I think Chambliss is playing good football. I like Lane Kiffin, the next Auburn football coach. No, I'm kidding. But I do I do doubt that Virginia walks into Oxford and wins this game. We'll move off the college football playoff unless y'all have any last comments that you want to go ahead and get out there.
I got one.
Yep.
Does anybody know the number of the quarterback for BYU?
47.
Jesus Christ. Okay.
47.
He's a little thick.
I watched
got a
him
fan
earlier
here.
in
little
the
thing
year.
too.
What?
What?
What did you just say?
Pause.
I didn't hear what he
He's a
said.
he's a
What?
thick quarterback. Pause. He's
All right,
pretty
we're
thick,
going to
ain't
move
he?
past this.
I watched them earlier in the year. They were playing, I think at Colorado, and I was like, just like their backup or something.
Yeah.
Nah. it's
Do
just
y'all
the
reckon that
starter.
seat's hot in Colorado, by the way?
Do what?
No.
No.
You don't think that seat's going to get hot?
No.
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 I was just wondering.
Because there's no expectations at Colorado.
Fair. Fair.
We'll go
They just-
to what?
They just beat a ranked team, didn't they?
Oh.
Yeah, they did knock somebody off the other day too.
Yes, they did.
I know. I just said that. I just said.
Yeah,
or I
I'm
was
talking
saying-
about
Colorado?
top 10. Yeah, Colorado knocked a ranked team out.
Who
Other
was
day.
it? Just Memphis?
Let's see. No, they didn't. They played a close. They beat Iowa State, which is a great win, and then they got absolutely drummed by
By
Utah.
Utah. It was
But
like 40 to
They also
3.5.
almost
Oh, is
beat
that where they were like
BYU.
kicking field goals like up 40 or something like that?
Yeah,
Yeah.
they almost beat BYU as well. They only lost by 3 there.
We'll
move.
well,
What did you say?
never mind.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean
Go
to cut you off.
on. No, you're good.
Oh, thank you. We'll move to the Week 11 preview. Unless we'll keep it open for questions. Does anybody have anything or statements? Does anybody have anything for the playoff show that you want to leave in?
Watch out for the
I think
Marvin
A&M
Dyer.
goes all the way. That's all I'm going to say.
I think I'm good. I'm respectful.
Still a A&M believer.
I really do respect the fact that the College Football Playoff Committee actually felt like they valued the right things. I think this is probably, I think Greg McElroy said it in the actual show that this is one of the best rankings that we've had. And I do completely agree with that. I think the teams are just about where they need to be, give or take 1 or 2. But really and truly for the first one, about as good as you can do. It's going to change week to week. So not a whole lot to say about that.
I got a question. One more question. So let's say if Auburn's 9-2 right now, and Bama's undefeated right now. They play against each other in Iron Bowl, and Auburn beats them. Do you think Auburn should get the head-to-head in that scenario?
It depends on the losses. And it depends. It depends on the losses, and it depends. Sorry, I was laughing at this comment right here.
What?
Completely
Hey,
agree.
what?
It depends on the losses, and it depends on how bad the win was in Jordan-Hare. Because you got to count that they were at home as well. But no, you do not bounce Alabama out of the top 12 or out of the playoffs. You put Auburn in, right? If they're outside of it, but that's theoretically speaking.
That was an example. That was just an example.
But no,
I
I mean, I get where you're
great.
going with that, like from a head-to-head standpoint and everything like that.
Yeah.
Heisman odds, are we all pretty still set on what our Heisman odds are? I'll go ahead and recall them out to everybody. I had Mendoza, Simpson, Reed saying And then Stockton / Pavia at 5. Which I really think I could put Jeremiah Love there. RJ had Mendoza, Simpson, Reed, Sayin, Pavia. Pork had Reed, Simpson, Pavia, Mendoza, Sayin. Mendoza being that far back is crazy.
Well, my list has now changed.
Okay.
There has been a shift.
Let me call out Chin's real quick. Chin has Simpson, Mendoza, Pavia, Reed, Sayin / Stockton. So is everybody's shifted? I know Pork just said his shifted. Pork, we'll let you start with yours. What you thinking?
I think Mendoza and Sayin move up. And I think Simpson drops to 3, Mendoza to 2, Sayin to 4, and then Jeremiah Love at 5. Marcel Reed's still top of my board.
Yeah. The only reason I don't put Simpson or Sayin in front of Simpson is because of the lack of competition at the current moment. Sayin's playing good football, no doubt about it. But I'll tell you more whenever he plays a little bit better team. This Penn State team that he played this week, don't get me wrong, has a ton of talent, but are obviously not being coached. James Franklin getting fired early in the season has to do with that. And so if it was the Penn State that Penn State usually is, I would say Sayin has a chance of being in front of Simpson, but at the moment, no. Anybody else?
I got something to say. Watch out for that North Texas quarterback. He's going to transfer somewhere good next year. He's going to be a dog.
Yeah,
he's putting out for North Texas right now.
He does.
Does Auburn go 1 for 3 in the portal on quarterbacks?
Who knows?
I don't know, bro. This quarterback's the real deal. I feel like
he's the RD, huh?
Yeah, he's a real deal.
We'll go now to the Alabama LSU matchup this week. Alabama opens up a 10.5 point or a 9.5 point favorite. Is now a 10.5 point favorite. 6:30, Bryant-Denny Stadium. Interim head coach over there for LSU. What are y'all, interim head coach and Frank Wilson over there? What are y'all thinking on this game? I'll go ahead and give you my spill on it. I think one of the biggest things is looking at what a dead team can do playing against a team. For an instance, let's go to the Georgia-Florida game last week. Florida made it competitive with a good Georgia team. Georgia obviously has played from behind in most of their games this year and found a way to win, which they did again. But Florida still played strong, even with Billy Napier not being there. I think LSU on defense turning tie over and getting Bama off the field, using speed on the edges to affect Simpson is going to be one of the key matchups of this game. If LSU doesn't even want a shot, LSU's offense has got to remain on the field because Alabama's offense, we all know, is like a boa constrictor. If they can win time of possession, your defense will be so tired at the end of the game that you cannot even put them on the bus. Whit Weeks is, I want to say, going to be out again for this game this week, which is a huge loss for LSU. How does LSU's team? There's 3 things I want to ask with LSU: is how do they play now with Frank Wilson, or is there going to be a little bit of a spark? What does their O-line look like in this game against Alabama's defensive line and keeping Nussmeier protected? And can they turn Simpson over? If they can do those 3 things, they have a chance to win. But I personally do not believe they do. I'll give you my score prediction once we finish up. We'll move on to the next guy, whoever wants to go.
Yeah, I agree with you though about the Alabama's D-line and LSU's O-line. That's the key factor for LSU in winning this game is holding up Alabama's defense line and then also Alabama's pressure they give. I feel like that's LSU's problem on offense right there is the O-line pass blocking because they're not giving Gus Meyer any time. I mean, sometimes it's on him, but most of the time it's on the O-line because he doesn't have enough time to throw the damn ball. But I'm gonna have to agree with you here, Dalton. I'm gonna take Bama in this game, but it's gonna be an overtime thriller.
All right. Don't give your score prediction yet.
I'm not. Why is it back up? Hold on. What's going on here, huh?
Hear me out.
Had to come back.
Hear me out. I believe in this LSU team. They have a lot of talent. They have a lot of depth. I feel like LSU will give Bama a fight. Bryant-Denny.
So I'm gonna get you to give that whole spill again. You think it's gonna be an overtime thriller and everything because that's gonna be a good TikTok to post. at the end when we do our score prediction. Chen, we'll move on to you. How do you feel about that Crimson Tide this weekend?
It's bye week. Trying to get everybody back healthy. Brooks and Horton, from what I saw, should be good to go, which will help out the passing game a lot more. I don't like it's a 10.5 point spread right now. As you know, we normally play bad whenever it's 2 scores. But I agree with everybody saying it starts with the O-line for LSU. Alabama needs to put pressure on Nussmeier and make him uncomfortable because in recent games when they have lost, he looks very uncomfortable. He looked uncomfortable against A&M. And then just try and stop the run with both Durham and I think his name's Hayden Barry, maybe. He's a good running back. We've got to stop both of them.
Yeah. Fort?
And then keep the ball on offense.
No doubt. Time of possession, baby.
Oh, yeah.
Orkington, what you got for us, Mr. Freeze?
I think if you're LSU, you have to blitz every single play that your defense is on the field because that is going to be your only chance of stopping Ty Simpson. And even when you do blitz, he's going to have somebody leaking out of the backfield, hitting the easy check down to the running back, or he's hitting his tight end 5 yards downfield. But the key to disrupting LSU is don't let the run game develop and make Nussmeier throw. Because he's shown this year he is not as secure as he has been, and that he is not the quarterback coming into this season that everybody hoped he would be.
Because you don't have no O-line.
O-line, potential injury, things of that nature.
He came into the season a little banged up. That also doesn't help either.
Yeah. I would say Daniel Hill to your point, Fort, that I like is hearing Tyler Simpson taking checkdowns. I think Daniel Hill, Alabama's running back, that's kind of making progression. He's definitely showed up the past couple games. I think he's going to be a big factor. He was our leading receiver in the last game we played against South Carolina. He's making big headway throughout the whole roster and getting a lot more playing time. RJ, you had the most interesting take of us all. RJ, what's your score prediction for this Alabama LSU game at 6:30 in Bryant-Denny Stadium?
Yeah, I feel like it's going to be an overtime throw, like I said before. I believe in this LSU team. I feel like they have enough skill and depth to compete with this Bama team. They just haven't had this year with any other team. But since they fired Brian Kelly looks like he didn't even want to be there last game. How miserable that game was for everyone, LSU-wise. I thought they'd come back strong this game and fight against Bama. I feel like Bama would take this game. LSU would take this game in overtime, just one overtime. I feel like the score would be 37-30, Bama.
37-30, Bama. Whew. Chen, what are you thinking? What's your score prediction for the Alabama LSU game?
It ain't going to be no overtime. I'd go 43-28.
43-28, Bama.
That's BTA.
So Bama's going to cover?
Bama ain't never covered.
Won't cover one time. Won't cover.
Fort, what you got?
I've got Bama 24-21. But I don't think the score won't be as close, or like the game won't be as close as the score will show. I think it'll be like trash time scores for LSU.
My Alabama LSU score prediction is going to be 34-20 Bama. Bama covers. I think it's a closer game. I think Bama has a trash time touchdown, just kind of like what you were saying with LSU. I think it's the reverse. I think Bama has the ball towards the end of the game, scores to kind of put the dagger in and finish it off. I don't think it's ever really in question of losing the game. I think it's more so it's just a kind of a back and forth, score, punt, score type of game. But Bama remains control of the game throughout the whole. Next, we'll move on. Let's go to the Texas A&M Missouri game. I feel like this is going to be one of the more interesting ones. I think this is Texas A&M has a pretty good matchup here, even with Preview being out. I want to say it's going to be a good one. I think A&M's going to get tested by a good defensive line, two of the better edge rushers in the country, and Damon and Zion. I think they're two of the better edge rushers in the country. I think they'll give A&M a test. I think Marcel Reed being able to use his legs when needed will be a huge portion of this game, and seeing what he can do to be able to evade the pocket. Also, not turn the ball over if you're Marcel Reed, not doing too much. That can be an issue as well. QB Matt Zollers to start against A&M as a freshman, former top 100 prospect. The last QB to start as a freshman for Mizzou was who? Does the class know? Anybody know?
Drew Lock.
Ooh, ball knowledge. 2015 Drew Lock. He definitely saw that on Twitter. Do not lie to me.
Saw it on ESPN.
Yeah. But Drew Lock, is the last quarterback to do that for Missouri. Mike Elko came out today in a press conference and said he respects the throwing ability of the kid. Did you just do the big head thing? Mike Elko respects his throwing ability. Like A&M, for me personally, A&M keeping the rushing attack under control, making this freshman quarterback win the game is going to be their biggest key. I'll pause right there. I'll let one of you go next. RJ, what's your take on this game?
I feel like Texas A&M has this game in the bag. I feel like Texas A&M defense will hold Missouri's run game and also contain Preview really, really well. Which Texas A&M's defense ain't the explosive part about their game is their offense, and their offense is going to score no matter what. I feel like because Marcel Reed and then Mario Craver and who else is the receiver? Conception, yes. And him, Texas A&M is going to score, and Texas A&M defense was iffy at the beginning of the season, but they have came together, especially against Auburn. Because Auburn, I thought Auburn's going to run all over Texas A&M, and that defense just showed up and just we could not run at all. And I feel like Texas A&M will have this game in the bag.
Or what you thinking on this game, man?
Well, I think A&M, I don't want to say marches through Missouri because that'd be a kind of an overstatement there. I think they win 27-10, but only for the fact of they can't get Ahmad Hardy running because of how good Texas A&M's run defense is. And you've got a young kid who's not going to see pressure or defense like this for the rest of the season.
Yep, I would agree with that. Chin, what about you, man?
I wish it'd be a close game. But like Pork said, I don't think Hardy gets running like he wants to. Puts a lot more pressure on the young kid trying to throw the ball a lot more. Which he didn't do bad whenever he came in against Vandy. But I mean, this is a step up in defense, big time from Vandy. I think the thing that Missouri needs to focus on the most is getting to Marcel Reed, causing him pressure, forcing him to throw the ball into tight windows because Missouri's secondary is really good. And we saw that against Bama and Auburn. But I think it'll be a dogfight, but the scoreboard won't show it.
Understandable. We'll start with Pork. What's your score prediction for this game, man?
I'm going to go 31-10 A&M. Just nothing for Marcel Reed.
I'm curious to see, or I'm wondering what Vegas is seeing, right? Because A&M only opens at a 6.5, or opens at a 4.5 point favorite, and now has been betted up to a 6.5 point favorite. That seemed a little low to me. I don't know.
Astronomically low.
Pork, obviously, you think it's 21 points too low as well. So
yeah, I think it's a lot of points too low.
Chin, we'll move on to you. A&M and Mizzou.
35-21 A&M. Mizzou gets trash time touchdown at the end of the game.
RJ, what you got for me?
Yeah, I'm gonna go 38-28 A&M. They covered by 10.
A lot of pretty high scoring games here. 31, 35, 28. Mine's a little bit different. I got 27-14. I feel like that was reasonable. I feel like A&M, Missouri's going to test A&M running it to the outside. They like to run outside zone. Of course, we've seen that all year. But I think A&M's key is going to be able to force Ahmad Hardy back in, keep him from being able to get to the edge. And then you're going to have Terry and York, one of the best linebackers in the country, playing for A&M right there to be able to fill that gap and keep and contain him, which is going to limit Missouri. I think it's going to be a lot on this freshman quarterback. I think he'll make a couple plays just because he is a highly talented player, but not enough to keep them in the game all the way to the wire, just enough to keep them treading water behind them. At the end of the day, A&M comes out with a win. This is probably my favorite one of the week right here. We'll move straight into the next one. You know, I told the guys we're going to start doing this. The real deal dog of the week. We got a picture of RJ with the collar on there on the screen.
He didn't like that. Look at him.
Yeah. RJ, do me a favor. Look like that picture real quick for me.
Close. I see it.
The dude in the pink has a better mustache than the dude in the gray.
Yeah, I saw that comment. Here, let me pop the comments back up on the screen real quick.
Yep, there you go. It's still just a shade. Can we quit throwing the stray?
Private messages, man.
Private messages. Oh, man, let's get down to this one. Real deal dog of the week is Mississippi State going up against Georgia at home. Start Vegas, baby. Cowbells ringing everywhere. If you're Jeff Levy, 60,000 cowbells in the stand. Supposedly Levy buys out tickets that did not sell to give to the students of Mississippi State to be able to pack out the stand, so Georgia fans could not get them. This is going to be an interesting one. I feel like Mississippi State at home has been really good all season. There's been a lot of close games for them, notably the Texas game 2 weeks ago. Georgia slow starts, but making good halftime adjustments. It's Kirby Smart's blood. I mean, he is the king of halftime adjustments behind what Nick Saban would be current right now. Kirby Smart makes the best halftime adjustments, I would say. I would say this one would definitely be put on a close game alert. That's the reason for the real deal dog image up on the screen. We'll drop that real quick. Mississippi State's defense, they play a style that is very volatile, and the fact that they're going to force a lot of touchdowns, force a lot of turnovers, which means they have the highest interceptions in the SEC currently, but they also give up a lot of deep bombs. They also give up a lot of big plays. They also give up a lot of chunk plays. So it's going to be about turning Gunnar Stockton over, making him drop the ball on the ground, making plays on it. Kirby Smart said in his press conference that this Mississippi State team has one of the longest defensive back rooms that he has ever played against, as far as the fact of just being lanky and athletic, making plays. Georgia being able to run it outside on Mississippi State, being able to get Nate Frazier in this run game, I feel like is going to be a big part of this. Mississippi State playing with lots of pace and a two-quarterback system, because they have been subbing the two quarterbacks back and forth, Shapen and Kamario Taylor. I think when it all comes, to light, I think Georgia needs to eat the clock away in this game and really just control the time of possession to be able to walk into Starkville and get out of there with a win. And you can't get behind. You got to start starting a little bit faster than what you have been. Guys, I'd be interested to hear your takes on this game. Pork, I feel like you're going to be the best one for this. Pork, what you got on this one?
So I went through and was looking at it, and both teams, as much as Georgia fans don't want to hear it, both teams are averaging almost the exact same numbers across the board of total offense, total defense, points for, points against, everything. When it comes down to yards per carry, yards per catch, all of it. But if you're Mississippi State, what you really have to do is, well, first, you're going to have to make sure everybody's there with a cowbell. And then secondly, make sure they don't stop ringing the cowbell. And then disrupt Gunnar Stockton for the whole game if you can do it. Yeah. Don't let the run get started and keep Gunnar Stockton trying to move. Don't let him get comfortable in the pocket.
I agree with you, Port.
Mississippi State's coming off a big win. I say big win. They're coming off a good win against Arkansas. Last-minute touchdown to
really
put them
good
up.
Cultural win. Yeah.
That's a win that'll really bring some hype for their fans to come into Stark Vegas against this Georgia team and try to knock them off. But however, on the other side of it, Georgia needs to get what's his name? Chauncey Bowens is who needs to be touching the ball for this Georgia team. They need to establish a run, keep the pocket clean, and the defense has to stay composed. Don't let the crowd noise get in your head like it did against Auburn. And if you're Gunner Stockton, you got to let the noise just kind of dissipate. Don't pay attention to it. Because, let's see. The last time crowd noise was a problem, he was 13 for 20, 130 yards and a touchdown. And I'm fairly certain that's the Bama game, I think. That might be the Auburn game, actually. I didn't write it down.
No, it's the Auburn. That would have been.
Yeah,
They played
Georgia played Athens.
It's just Blake Shapen looks good. I believe he's going to be really good. And they've got a two-headed dragon at running back with Fluff Boffle and Devon Booth in their backfield.
Fluff, South Alabama mentioned.
They're sitting just shy of 500 yards apiece with 13 touchdowns between the two of them.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm about to.
Like you said, the quarterback in and out deal is an issue, though, because that quarterback comes in to strictly run.
Yeah.
When you see him come on the field, that opens up a who's running the ball scenario.
And they usually keep Shapen on the field, too. So they have a wildcat scenario with two quarterbacks on the field, so you're looking for a double pass as well, which could be interesting for Georgia later in the game. RJ, I know you've been trying to get your 2 cents in. What you got?
No, it's fine. You can skip me. It's fine. No, I'm kidding. I'm not to agree with you, Port. I feel like Georgia here lately has been getting really lucky out of close games, and Mississippi State's been unlucky in close games. So I'm gonna hand it over to Chin or Dalton. I'm gonna wait for the prediction. So,
Chin, got anything for us in this game?
I feel like if Mississippi State keeps it close throughout the whole game, the Dogs are going to take it home. I ain't going to tell y'all which one, but the Dogs are going to take it home.
One of the Dogs are definitely taking it home. I agree with you on that. I think Mississippi State runs a lot of different 4-man fronts, a lot of different 3-man fronts with a lot of different odd pressures that come out of it. I think that's going to be one of the biggest keys in this game for them. I think if you're Georgia, you're going to – which they've gotten better this year compared to last year, picking up pressures and stunts on the defensive line, on the offensive line against the defensive line. So I think that's going to be a big part of it. I agree with Port's take on Chauncey Bowens being a big factor in this game, and Nate Frazier as well. Down the stretch, this could be a really tight and close game. Port, or let's start with Chin. Chin, let's start with your score prediction. What you got for us?
17-14, Mississippi State.
I like that, Chin. I
We'll
like
go to
that.
mine.
You like that? You like that?
We got Perco chains. We'll go to mine next. I think I'm going to be the one that differs from all of you. I got 27-17 Georgia in this game. I think Kirby's going to find a way to get it back changed around. I think it's going to be a close game all the way up until the fourth quarter, and you're going to see Georgia start kind of coming away with it. 27-17, the Bulldogs. The Bulldogs from Athens. There you go.
There's
RJ.
and red. Okay.
RJ.
Anyways, yeah, man. I feel like Mississippi State's been real unlucky in close games against big teams, and Georgia's been really lucky. And I feel like Mississippi State will take this game and win 24-20 Mississippi State. This game is going to be a game for Georgia where, hey, you still could get beat. This is like a humble game for Georgia. I feel like they'll still make playoffs after this game, and they'll be really humble, and they'll start spiking that ass. You know what I'm saying?
Respect. Fort. What was your score prediction, RJ? I'm sorry.
24-20 Mississippi State Bulldogs.
Woo. 2-1 right now for the Mississippi State Bulldogs. Fort, are you gonna make it 3-1?
I hate to
or
tell you,
2-2?
but it's going to be 3-1. Okay.
Ooh.
So
Let me grab my broom.
Yeah, go ahead and get the broom and sweep Turtle out of this prediction. But I think that Mississippi State comes up big early. I don't say goes up big, but they come up with like a big stop or something early, and the crowd just takes Georgia out of it. You know, the skeleton ref's not there to throw some crazy flags right before halftime to really take all the air out of the stadium. But I genuinely think it's 34-27 Mississippi State.
34-27 Mississippi State. Actually, don't mind that score from you, Port. So 3-1 Mississippi State over the Bulldogs. If it was up to the R&D podcast, Mississippi State walks away with this one pretty cleanly at home, making their second SEC win in like the past 6 or 7 years, something like that, 4 or 5 years,
Something like that.
How many years?
6, 7.
Okay.
We'll talk about this real quick because we got RJ in the podcast today. He was not here Sunday. Auburn versus Vanderbilt. Hugh Freeze out as the head coach. RJ, what's your take on this? What do you think the Auburn Tigers will do?
Hey, pull your shirt back out.
Vanderbilt.
Yeah, man, the Auburn basketball looking pretty good to me.
No, they're not.
They did not look that
Speaking
good.
of Auburn basketball, you go to overtime with Bethune-Cookman yesterday. Anyways, we'll get back to Hugh Freeze.
Yeah. Thank God he's gone, and not thank God. Recruiting was awesome, I believe. But other than that, he couldn't show anything on the field. So I agree with the fire. But I say keep DJ. That's our only chance without putting Auburn in a dumpster fire. Just keep DJ. But other than that, let's go to the game, Vandy versus Auburn. So Auburn and Vandy is almost the same team to me, but Vandy's offense runs their offense a lot better than Auburn. They're a running offense. They run it better than Auburn. If you stop Diego Pavia, what Bama did, you can win against Vandy, and I feel like Auburn can do that. I feel like with Hugh Freeze not interfering with the play calls, Auburn's offense would look a lot better. I feel like this will still be a low-scoring game. But after all that to say, someone else talk before I give my prediction.
Port, you're the other Auburn fan in this call. What did you got for us, man?
I think Derek Nix is going to come out and call a pretty good game. And I also agree with RJ that if you let DJ Durkin go, Auburn will be in extremely bad shape. And I think you might see a permanent quarterback change this week. I don't think we're going to keep bouncing around the whole weird 2 quarterback, put him in for a drive set we're trying to do here. But also at the same time, we're playing in Tennessee. I've got Vanderbilt taking it.
Chin,
give your prediction, Jackie.
Thank you, RJ. Chin, what you got for us?
I don't know. I want to say Auburn's going to try and keep it close. I don't see him stopping Pavia. Got some eyebrows from the bottom down there.
We can't stop Pavia. Are we serious here?
Yeah. Didn't stop him the past 3 years.
Yeah, haven't yet.
2 years.
Yeah, I think
We talking about last year? Last year was 17-14 or 17-10, something like that.
Still
It's
lost.
a low scoring game.
Still won.
New Mexico State was way worse, dog.
Way worse. They
Like
were a
40-something
9-1
to 10.
team. They were a 9-1 team. However, they were way worse. If it was a 12-team playoff, they might have made playoffs.
But look at the talent they had, though, RJ. And then you base it off the talent he's got at Vanderbilt now. I mean, it's a whole different ball game they're playing over at Vandy.
I don't know.
Yeah, give me Vandy. So basically what it comes down to is you're playing it in Nashville. I think DJ Durkin is going to bring life to this program, but I don't think you've had enough time if you're Auburn. No bye week after a fire. You've seen a trend with coaches once they get fired right before a bye week, gives the interim time to come in the program, kind of mold some things together. You didn't have that for this Auburn job. DJ Durkin's coming in here. He has been a previous head coach at Maryland a couple years back. It's going to take him time. I think one thing that you're concerned with if you're an Auburn fan is the fact of after the season, does Durkin stay? after being the interim head coach and then demoted back down to potentially defensive coordinator. I think that's Auburn's biggest problem. I think John Summerall is your leading candidate. That's all I'm going to say about the coaching hire situation. But we'll come back to the Auburn versus Vandy game. Pavia, I think, is not going to have as good of a game because Auburn's defense is so good. But I do not think that Auburn's offense will improve just because Hugh Freeze was fired, because he wasn't the sole play caller, even though he was a part of it, definitely. He wasn't the sole
He was
play
the sole
caller.
play caller, let's be honest here. He was.
On record, he is
was
not
the
the
sole.
sole play caller. He was just a
On
one
record,
down
yeah,
play
but we all know he was play calling most of the time.
Yeah, he's playing the calls.
Okay,
Play
either
caller the whole time.
or, you have not had enough time to switch an offense. You have not had enough time to change an offense. Derek Nix is not some world-renowned coordinator that's going to change a program in one game. Therefore, I do not think Auburn will win this game. I do think Vandy will end up winning this game, and I do think Vandy will end up winning this game 21-7. Pork, we'll go to you.
I think Auburn's defense is great, but yet again, we have struggled to stop this RPO style offense they like to run, where they like to run a lot of motion, a lot of up the gut calls, outside zones, and then they'll RPO out of it and then throw a screen the other way. It's a weird offense to play against, and Auburn's just has not shown the ability to stop it in the past few years. And with that being said, I think it's 2010 Vandy.
2010 Vandy. Chen, we'll move to you.
Pavia goes for 5 tutties. 3 through the air, 2 on the ground. 38-21 Vandy.
You know that no one
That's
scored
Blaze.
over 24 points, right, on Auburn this whole year.
That changes this week, obviously, to Chen, brother.
I'll cuss you out if I weren't on here.
I mean,
on here, I'll cuss you out, Chen.
but also does
Just
that
about
stem
sounds
from Durkin having head coaching responsibilities now? Is he able to coach? There is that angle to look at it from on Chen's behalf. RJ, I'm very curious to see what you have to say after you gave me the stank eye when I was giving you my take. Go ahead.
So, first of all, we got the best defense in the nation. Let's be honest here. Xavier Atkins a dog. Keldrick
I
Vaughn
agree
a
with
dog. Yes. But anyways, other than that, I feel like our defense would put Auburn's offense in pretty good field position. We'll get 2 takeaways, and then we also Vandy will turn over the ball over downs 2 or 3 times also. I feel like our defense will play a main factor in this game. I feel like the defense will score a touchdown also. And also our offense will come together a little bit than it has been lately. And offense will score 14 points. I feel like Auburn can win this game 21-13.
21-13.
Hang on. You think Auburn's defense is better than Ohio State's?
Yes.
Blasphemy.
I don't think
you got to remember our
Auburn
offense doesn't help out Auburn's defense either.
Auburn,
you got to think about that.
Are we going to sit here and act like Auburn's secondary is one of the best in the nation, though? I
No, it's
completely
not.
disagree with that.
Auburn's got
They're
good,
always
like,
on the
safeties,
field, though.
but
You
then
got
when
to
go to
put
actual-
that.
I mean,
you gotta
even
put
when
that in there, too.
even at the start of games, the secondary for all the front seven is great. I'm not arguing for the front seven. Xavier Atkins is great. Rayshawn Pleasant is okay, but everybody are pretty good. Everybody else, question marks. They're young. Nothing against them. They're
I don't
young.
like the K and Lee disrespect, in my opinion. I think K and Lee's a great corner.
K and
and
Lee's
has
good,
played a
too.
One of the better
great
corners
game.
in college football.
Kayan Lee's good too, but he doesn't play every single corner position. Does he? Because if you want to say
There's
that,
still
if you
Pleasant, Sylvester Hills, Smith.
okay, so
What?
if you don't get y'all don't get that, right?
What?
I don't think you'll get that joke, but we were watching a game one time. He's like, dude, that's Sylvester Smith. And
No, Hills. Let's say Hills.
Or he was like, that's Sylvester Hills. And the announcer immediately goes, tackle made by Sylvester Smith. And it was like he was so confident saying his name, like he knew him, you know? Anyways, Auburn's pass defense this year is ranked 118th in the nation. Pass explosiveness, 80th. Passing average, 81st. Pass success, 93 in the nation. So Auburn's defense, passing wise, has not been the greatest. Now the run defense has been amazing.
But
At
that's the
number six.
thing. Vandy's not a running passing team.
Tell that to Eli Stovers or Stowers. Sorry. Tell that Pavia whenever he gets out of the pocket and is rolling to his right and throws a laser 20 yards downfield. I don't think they're a primarily pass first, team. I'll give you Vanderbilt is a 48% pass team, 52% run team. If that clears up some stats for you. They're more of a balanced offense than they are just a run-heavy offense, even though they appear to be a run-heavy offense because there's a lot of RPOs and play actions. I think Auburn's defense is great. I think their front seven's great, but I do think their secondary is a weakness that can be exposed if the offense is not able to stay on the field. I don't think they're good to play the full game like Auburn's defensive line is. Reasonable?
I mean, it's going to happen when you play man blitz the whole game. I mean, your secondary is going to get burnt every once in a while.
Well, then you're saying it's a scheme problem.
No, it's not a scheme problem. Scheme's been doing fine. It's just been on the field for so long. The defense is on the field more than the offense is.
I mean, I'm not
Can't get a
disagreeing with
break.
you.
So
I'm not disagreeing with you, but I'm just saying that.
I got you. I got you, man.
And I think
big dog.
I think Auburn's secondary is really good. They are just young. Let me clarify that. I think Payne Lee's really good, like you were saying. I think Pleasant's got a lot of potential.
Eric Winters is going to be a top safety within the next 2 seasons. I'm going to call it now. The kid is a dog. He's great at the safety position, and I'm really high on him. He's really good.
Xavier Atkins needs to hit the portal and come to Bama, but we'll talk about
he
that
does not. He
time.
needs to stay exactly where he sits right now.
He's going to stay at Auburn. I'm going to tell you that right now.
As long as Dirk, the thing is, keep Dirk, you keep your defense. That is what I'm going to stick by for the rest of the year.
I agree with that. Texas Tech versus BYU. Texas Tech has them in Lubbock, Texas. This is the last game, the biggest game, the most playoff potential concerning game of the week. 9.5-point favorite for Texas Tech, opening up in Lubbock, Texas, against this BYU team who is 8-0. 11 a.m. kickoff. Big 12's biggest game so far. Can Tech keep Morton clean in the pocket? Who knows? If they are able to, he's a lot more efficient than what he is with pressure. I think it's 88% quarterback rating to 50%, like the drop, 30-something percent between the two. Is BYU able to get pressure with 4 rushers and not have to send the house to be able to get to him? The trenches are going to be the biggest decider in this game, I would say. We'll talk about Texas Tech a little bit. Texas Tech has the highest rating defensive line in the country with 2 of the best edge rushers, which power ranking wise, they're rated 2 and 3 in the country at the current moment. QB playmaking for Brockemeyer has got to be good in this game if you're BYU. Getting the run game going so you can kind of get to that play action if you're BYU, because that is their bread and butter, getting to that play action. I think at the end of the day, if Texas Tech's defense is very good, they're a very balanced, complete team. I think if BYU can find a way to get to 3rd and shorts more than not, they'll be okay. But I believe in Texas Tech's defense. I'll give you my score prediction in a minute, but their defense is really the selling point to me in this game. Who would like to go next?
It's not really their defense. I feel like it's their defensive line. Because BYU is a running team, and they're going to try to run the ball on you the whole time. And hopefully it opens up the pass game. But I don't care about BYU's pass game if I'm Texas Tech. I'm stopping the run. So I feel like Texas Tech's defensive front would play a really big role in this game against BYU. And also Texas Tech's offense, man. I mean, they're top 30 in offense in college football. So their offense will score and be explosive. So I believe Texas Tech will get this dub. So, yeah.
Texas Tech currently is ranked number 1 against the run and number 1 against the pass in the nation. And I do agree with you that their front 7 is better than their secondary. And I do agree with you that they should be able to shut down the run game for this BYU
The
team.
run game, yeah, the run game.
The run game, yeah. I
Yeah.
do agree with you on that.
I
What
think
you
what's
got?
not getting talked about is Tech's run game. It's kind of like their little. I mean, you got a guy rushing for 5.5 yards a carry. It's a second-year guy out of Austin, Texas, Cameron Dickey. He's got 10 touchdowns on the season already. And then you've also got their quarterback. Morton's been a good quarterback, but quarterback play between the two of them, statistically, without completion percentage and stuff like that, you're looking at, similar yards, similar touchdowns, similar interceptions. I mean, it's really even, but it's not at the same time. I really do like Tech in this, though.
I have to agree with you. Chin, what you got for me on this Texas Tech game?
I ain't done no research on it. I ain't gonna lie. I just think it'll be a close game all the way through. Whoever can run the ball will probably win this one out. Was hoping it'd be like an old school Big 12 shootout type of game, but it probably won't be.
I think Bear is definitely going to have to make plays in this game to keep BYU alive. But at the end of the day, Texas Tech's defense is going to prevail in this game and make it to what it really – there is this gap between these two teams, and I think it is the defensive side of the ball for Texas Tech. I think it is the edge rushers. I do think that when you got 47 at quarterback, Brockmeyer, I think he can make plays, but not enough to keep BYU in this game. I do like the spread in this game. I do like the 9.5 line, even though it is a pretty large gap. I think Texas Tech is capable of it. I think BYU this game will be kind of bounce back a little bit. I look for Texas Tech to do great things this season, possibly win the Big 12, and also for the plot, right? If BYU loses this game, they're fine. They're 8-1. They're still probably going to make the Big 12 championship. Texas Tech loses this game, I think, they're probably out of the Big 12 championship. They probably don't see BYU again, possibly. So that's probably the biggest convincer to me as well. Whenever you're looking at this overall slate of this weekend's games, I really like Texas Tech in this one. They're probably my favorite team for the weekend to actually cover. Other than that, I think we went through everything, we talked about in this podcast. First, we started with the college football playoff rankings and, no really noticeable differences or disagreements from anybody in the group, really and truly, besides maybe A&M getting bounced around. And I think one of the most interesting things we talked about on the pod today was the fact of Auburn beating Vandy. Really interesting take. I like that one a lot. And Mississippi State. I forgot about Mississippi State. 3-1 odds for Mississippi State to win this weekend. Anything else you want to leave off with?
I didn't give my prediction to the Texas Tech game.
Oh, I'm sorry. RJ, go ahead with your text.
Yeah.
I didn't get mine either, by the way.
No, yeah, I feel like Texas Tech will win this game by 14. I'm going to go Texas Tech 42-17. 42-17, Texas Tech.
Holy, take the over on points. Take the over on point. I think the point total set up 52.
Yeah, it is.
Either or. I got Texas Tech winning this game as well. I didn't announce mine. 31-24 Texas Tech. I'm saying take the over on points too. I think it's going to be a good game. I think it's going to be a good little shootout game. Obviously, Big 12 and championship intentions coming in. I think it's going to be one of the largest deals for Texas Tech, and they're going to play hard in this game to be able to eventually get the win over BYU. Other than that, we covered a lot in this podcast. It's been about an hour and 10 minutes now. Anything else y'all would like to say? Bring up?
I kind of do have something. It's a game we haven't talked about at all. Wake Forest, Virginia. I have a feeling that Wake Forest could upset Virginia here this weekend. It's just Virginia's been playing pretty good ball. I know Virginia has as well. They also, I think they share the loss to I think it's not Louisville. Who they share a loss with? It's NC State. They share a loss with. I really do like I like Wake Forest against Virginia this weekend.
I don't hate it. Memphis Tulane, that's going to be a good matchup. You may see, I think two of those coaches right there are candidates for the Auburn head coaching job too. So who knows? John Summerall is definitely probably the leader for that right now. Oregon, Iowa Iowa does something to
Look out for that
offenses.
one.
Yeah. Iowa does something to offenses that just completely destroys them and makes them where they can't score the ball. I don't know what it is. Notre Dame Navy. That's an interesting one. Navy, what are they 7-1, 8-0, something like that coming in this game. Give them respect.
They lost to North
last
Texas last week.
Yeah. So that's going to be an interesting one.
Watch out for that quarterback.
All right.
Yeah.
I got a question, though.
Yep.
Over under tortilla tosses this weekend. 0.5. We'll go 0.5.
Over.
Yeah, give me the over.
Give me the over.
Over. Good question though. Even though it's banned,
Yeah,
I think it's definitely
$250,000 fine, but
who cares?
It's the
They'll be
Navy.
on the field. It's the Navy. That's a Texas
The
Tech
Navy.
tradition.
that's
I don't
the
care.
thing.
It's the
I don't
Navy.
care. I don't care. Think I care?
I respect it.
He don't care. He wearing a freeze warning shirt.
Hey, it's cold. It's real cold.
Hey, RJ, you weren't on the podcast for Sunday. This is where we'll end that. Who is your favorite for the head coaching job besides DJ Durkin at Auburn currently?
Clark Lee. He's a candidate, by the way.
I mean, everybody's potentially candidates.
Saban's a
Clark
candidate
Lee.
at this point.
What makes you think he'll leave Vandy and come to Auburn? With it being his alma mater.
I don't think he will, but that's you said my favorite candidate, so I gave. I don't
Like
think
to actually get the job, not your personal favorite, but like to actually get the job. Who do you think will actually get the job?
God, I forget his name. What's the ASU's head coach name?
Kenny Dillingham.
Yes, I feel like he'll probably get the job over John Summerall. He's a favorite right now, I believe. So I believe he's a favorite, and then John Summerall. But I feel like he will take the job before John Summerall. And I feel like that's a decent hire, but I still say keep Dirk.
Yeah,
Decent.
I think it's pretty good. I think that's a knock it out of the
That's a
park
really
home run
good
hire.
hire.
Personally, I think Summerall's not bad. I think Kenny Dillingham is a pretty good hire. I think he'd do great things at Auburn, give due time. But either or. Anything else before I close this out?
No, sir.
Well, this has been the RD Podcast. Appreciate you watching. Check us out on TikTok, Facebook, Instagram. My name's Dalton. We got Pork up there to the left, Chen down there to the right, and RJ down the bottom left. We'll catch you next time.